in the world.
President George W. Bush now down to less than a week in office. January 20th, Barack Obama moves into the White House. Bush moves out. When asked about his presidency,
I have often said that history will look back and determine that which could have been done better.
and that may be the case. It may be decades before historians begin to assess the Bush presidency accurately. But we did ask the American public, notwithstanding, to tell us how they thought the last 7 presidents will be looked at by history, and that includes George W. Bush. The results at this point, not very favorable to the current president. He's down there with Richard Nixon in terms of the percent who say that he will be outstanding or above average. 17% for Bush in that category, 15% for Nixon, bottom of the list of the 7. By the way, who's at the top? Ronald Reagan. At this point, 64% of Americans say history will judge or is judging Reagan as outstanding or above average, and below that, Bill Clinton, and then below those two, Bush's father, George H.W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, and Gerald Ford. If we look at the negative side of the ledger, it's even worse news for President George W. Bush. He gets the highest below average or poor rating of any of the 7 presidents, more than Nixon. 59% of the American public at this point says Bush will be judged by history as below average or poor in terms of his presidency. Now just 48% say that history judges Nixon, who had to resign because of Watergate, of course, as below average or poor. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, editor-in-chief of the Gallup poll.